Hi, this is Sunday the 17th of January 2021. This is the Democratic Alliance Labour Report. Welcome once again, I really appreciate it. If you'd like this, please send it on to friends, family, business associates. It's an important report and there's some interesting things. This last week has been filled with labour news, and I just want to outline three of them quickly. One, we've had a report from the UIF Chief Director, Mr. Yawa, about the past and the so-called successes and another possible temporary employee relief scheme. Secondly, we've had a gazette for parties and non-parties in the fast food, restaurant, catering and allied industry. Shockingly, this industry has now got a bargaining council which has been extended to non-parties. And then thirdly, we've got the COVID-19 TERS dispute resolution form and dispute resolution process, which is good news. I'm Michael Bagram, the Democratic Alliance Labour spokesperson, with this week's Labour report from the Democratic Alliance, Sunday the 19th of January 2021. So we go to the first report, which is Mr. Yawa from the UIF. Mr. Yawa would have all of us believe that the UIF has done an absolutely amazing job. It's been fantastic over the last 10 months of this TERS relief application type forms. He would not hear of the fact that there's still hundreds and thousands of people who literally have not been receiving their TERS payment. He says they've done a really good job. He said they've dispersed much money, and for an association, a department that has been dispersing this amount of money, he can't understand how anyone has accused him of wrongdoing. It's absolutely amazing. One would believe that we are part of Alice in Wonderland, falling down very slowly that well and watching things go by. Mr. Yawa is obviously living in Alice in Wonderland, and Mr. Yawa obviously seems to be completely and utterly mistaken. It's really sad. He says the UIF has been superb. He unbelievably has denied that the UIF is a completely incompetent body. It is really terrible to hear and see. The frustration that I get when I watch his interview is enormous. But obviously we have to soldier on and we have to keep applying for that money. It's not much we can do. The Minister of Employment and Labour doesn't seem to listen, and the acting director does get back to me piecemeal. So thank God for that. He, however, has admitted, Mr. Yawa from the UIF has admitted that the retrenchment numbers are now far greater than ever expected. Even greater, he said, big numbers than those that were affected by the lockdown, the TERS people. So obviously they're receiving all those millions of people who have been retrenched, are now wanting their UIF monies. They are receiving those claims, whether they're paying them, whether there's going to be the same disastrous outcome that we saw with TERS, I don't know. I am getting people writing to me on a daily basis, this time about 24 a day, who are writing to me saying they applied, they've been retrenched, they've got nowhere to go, and the department still hasn't got back to them. So those greater numbers that Mr. Yawa talks about are starting to filter through. He says that they've disbursed about 68 billion rand. He says that proudly as if it's government money. Remember, this money, the 68 billion, belongs to the workers of South Africa, not to government. It's workers who are asking for their same invested money back to them. They invested it in the UIF. They invested it for a rainy day. We're now at that rainy day. I think 21 is going to be a year, unfortunately, of much more retrenchments. Wait and see. We've already seen the deluge start. I daily am getting calls from employers asking me to help them with the retrenchments, help them structure the outgoing workers. It is really sad. So we've got to wait. I don't think the public must believe anything that the UIF tells us. They are now telling us that furloughed workers, in other words, workers that are now put off again because of level 3 lockdown, take the restaurant, entertainment, liquor industry, they're furloughed again. They've been told to stay at home. He said they must individually apply to the UIF, not to claim the TERS, because the TERS is closed and they're trying desperately to not reopen the TERS. Well, of course, what he doesn't say is that if you're a furloughed worker, first of all, you have to apply individually. And so you can imagine the backup and the blockage in the system. And also you're going to use your points. So if you claim for furlough now, and when you get retrenched later, you're going to get less monies from the UIF because you've already drawn some. That's not the idea of TERS. The idea of TERS is it doesn't affect your claims against the UIF. You don't use your points for TERS. But if you claim now as a furloughed worker, you will be using up your points. And I think it's really bad. And of course, we're going to see a lot of those claims just being ignored once again. I want to look now, and I think it's important for us to look at the Extended Bargaining Council for the restaurant industry. We've had this bargaining council up in Gauteng for many years. Now what they've done, and the Minister of Employment and Labour has sneakily pushed this through to the rest of the country. Now we know that this entire industry, the fast food, restaurant, catering, allied trades, is on its hands and knees. They're back on level 3 again. The time limits, you have to leave by 8 o'clock, something ridiculous like that, has destroyed that industry. Now on top of it, what do? You impose a bargaining council on that industry. In other words, you extend the minimum wages to that industry, the terms and conditions, the special payments. All that has now been pushed onto that industry. They've been taken completely unawares. I'm not sure what the government wants to do. Do they want to actually destroy that restaurant industry? It looks like it. I can't see any other reason for this other than to destroy that industry. My heart goes out to everyone in the fast food, restaurant, catering, allied industry. I can't understand how they're going to be able to face this. Restaurants that are already on their last penny are now going to be pushed into that bankruptcy. It is ridiculous. It is something that hopefully the industry is able to challenge in court. Hopefully someone is going to speak up for them. But my heart goes out to them. It's absolutely terrible. Then what we have is a little bit of good news that I can end off on. We do now have a new dispute resolution process for the TERS. As I said earlier in this report, people are still writing to me, still phoning the department, no one answering the phone on the other end. It's a toy telephone. There's no one there. Now what they've done is they've put together a dispute resolution process, a form, people that you can actually contact, and an email address. So if you want to be able to do that by yourself, to see if you can actually enter into a dispute, please contact me at Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, at Bagraims, B-A-G-R-A-I-M-S, M for Mary, S for sugar, .co.za. And I'll send that dispute resolution form through to you. At least it's another avenue that we can pursue if you haven't been paid your TERS or your UIF. Let's at least try it. I'm not sure if you're going to get responses, but that's an avenue that they've put up. In light of this dispute resolution process, I'm hoping that they have a sensible approach and that they do in fact answer you and that they do look at individual cases. So here's to hoping. Here's to a better week forthcoming. Thank you for listening to me. It's Michael Bagram, Sunday the 17th of January 21, the Democratic Alliance Labour Report. Thank you ever so much.